I'm like, that's how you do it. You got to get on top of it. You got to get in front of it. Time will tell how this plays out, but I love the confidence. This is spoken like someone who truly knows they're innocent and is truly looking to expose someone, because if you are this high-powered attorney who have a history of certain types of cases and wins, you would think you would vet out everything before you file a suit.
Turn to the side, let me see. Damn, I think we all could agree. You and your friends, I done counted 2 or 3. And you looking even better here with me. We don't need no dinner, you the no boo. Tell me where you're from, girl, is your local? Got a couple dollars we could blow through. Take a couple trips, yeah, I can show you. Jump in my Impala, get the backseat going. We just let the top down, getting top down, hold it.
That song you just heard is my new joint. It's called Blow a Bag. You can find it on all streaming platforms. Just search Hollywood Blow a Bag. Send it to your friends. Most importantly, add it to your playlist. Run those numbers up for me if you like what you heard. Appreciate you for listening. Now let's get ready to get into what's hot in these blogs. Hov, aka Jay-Z, has been forced to release a statement denying allegations of SA after he was accused in a amended, refiled lawsuit that happened over the weekend. This civil lawsuit was filed by Tony Busby, who's the guy who's been filing all of these lawsuits. I lost count at this point, the amount of civil lawsuits against Diddy. And now here we are, this person, this Jane Doe is including Hov. This lawsuit was originally filed in October, but it was just refiled this past Sunday to include Jay-Z. Jay-Z wasted no time releasing a statement denying the rumors. And initially, when I first heard about this, I wasn't even going to talk about it, but Jay-Z's response to it and what he said in it prompted me to want to talk about it. Hov's statement reads, and I'm reading it in its entirety because just like accusations and allegations are blasted out to the world in such a way where the person is guilty in a court of public opinion before any trial or any type of case even has a chance to move. So I want Jay-Z's response to be just as loud as the allegations. He said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever will commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends are surely to see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects in Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. I'm like, that's how you do it. You got to get on top of it. You got to get in front of it. Time will tell how this plays out, but I love the confidence. This is spoken like someone who truly knows they're innocent and is truly looking to expose someone, because if you are this high-powered attorney who have a history of certain types of cases and wins, you would think you would vet out everything before you file a suit. Why wasn't Jay-Z's name included originally when it was filed in October? Why the refiling to include Jay-Z's name? That's a question I would like to know. Was it just like a spring in your memory to be like, you know what? Jay-Z was there too. Let's refile this. That part, it gotta start to make sense, right? We live in a society nowadays where social media and the world sensationalize everything, where someone is guilty before proven innocent, and there's a lot of confirmation bias. We watch a lot of videos online. We watch a lot of conspiracy theorists. It's a lot of, I thought that too, or I had a feeling that was the case too. Now this person is saying it. You know what? It's true. Before the person even has an opportunity to even clear their name, SA is such a serious offense. It is so serious that I feel anyone who make accusations that turn out to be false should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Just as harsh as we treat offenders, we need to treat people who lie about this. It does a disservice to the real victims of the world. I'm not saying that I know without a doubt Jay-Z is innocent, but I'm saying that we need to allow him the opportunity to clear his name and not just run with a story just for the sake of being the first to post it and like, oh, look what's new. These are real lives we are playing with here. Let's see how this plays out. Let's move on. What else is hot in these blogs? Let's talk about Biden. Joe Biden has decided to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. And when I first heard this, I was saying the other side gonna drag him through the mud immediately because of it. Because for the longest time, Joe Biden has said he wasn't gonna pardon Hunter. He said he wasn't gonna interfere with the Department of Justice. And he decided just last weekend that he was gonna go ahead and pardon him. So many people are saying, why did he lie for so long? He kept saying he wasn't. And then he finally decided to. It's as if changing your mind just doesn't exist. He has the right to change his mind. And initially, when he was saying that he wasn't going to pardon him, had the election gone the way that they was expecting it to go, he probably wouldn't have pardoned Hunter. But since they lost, he wasn't about to leave his son just out there to dry with the wolves that's about to come in with this new administration, with this new vengeance that your boy 45 has. So he decided to pardon him. And I do it again. That's how I feel. If anybody's saying Biden lied about it, everyone has a right to change their mind. If you feel Biden lied because he changed his mind about that, everyone lies every day about anything. I could say I'm going to the store, then decide I'm not going to go no more. Does that mean I lied? No, that means I changed my mind. That's what he decided to do. And I feel like he made the right decision at the end of the day. Hunter Biden was facing charges of tax evasion and for lying on a gun form. And he illegally owned a firearm while being a drug user. Now, it's been 5 years. Hunter has been clean. So why wouldn't you, as the sitting president who has the power to pardon, not pardon your son, especially when the incoming administration has it out for you and will likely do everything in their power to make sure he has the book thrown at him. So I think anybody would do this. And if anybody's feeling some way about it, you're being a hypocrite, especially that side. You got 45 who just the other day doubled down and admitted that his first day in office, he's going to pardon the January 6th insurrectionists, the rioters who stormed the Capitol, who actually did some harm where someone lost their life. He wants to pardon them. First day in office, that's on his agenda. And this is exactly why I call them the hypocrites, because y'all could drag Biden for pardoning his son, but be A-okay with 45 saying that he's going to pardon the January 6th rioters. So yeah, in my opinion, Biden, you did the right thing. I feel like anybody would do the same for their child if they were in a similar position. So what else is hot in these blogs? Daniel Penny, who is the vigilante, I guess, if you will, who used the chokehold on a homeless person on a New York City train. Jordan Neely. It said that Jordan Neely was on this train and was acting out, yelling, making threatening remarks. He was saying that he was hungry. He ended up taking off his jacket, throwing it down, just being real aggressive in the train car. And if you're from New York, if you ever rode the New York City subway, you know this is like a common thing. You got people who have mental episodes and they be going through things. And most times people would just move away. They'll probably change carts if you can. In some unfortunate situations, they'll probably have an incident happen with it. In this case, Jordan was making these gestures. People was getting alarmed, moving around. And then you have Daniel Penny, who's a Marine veteran, who I guess in the moment, something clicked in his mind. He thought he was back on the front lines and wanted to neutralize the threat on the train, I guess. And he goes up behind Jordan, puts him in a chokehold, and holds him in the chokehold for several minutes until Jordan passed out and ultimately died. Daniel is on trial currently. He's facing 2 charges. One of them is second-degree manslaughter, and the other one is criminally negligent homicide. And the judge has dismissed the manslaughter charge because the jury were deadlocked on determining whether he would be guilty of it or not. So they couldn't come to a conclusion. The judge sent them back, had them deliberate some more. They came back, still couldn't reach an agreement, which caused the judge to throw out the manslaughter charge. He was facing up to 15 years in prison if convicted on that. And for the lesser charge, just up to 4 years in prison for that. I feel like the charges are fitting for what transpired. I feel like especially the second-degree manslaughter, which is the type of crime where you cause the death of someone unintentionally, which is exactly what he did. It's not self-defense. Jordan wasn't physically attacking anyone at the time when Daniel decided to come up behind him and put him in his chokehold. And then even if you feel like, I'm going to prevent this from going any further and I'm going to restrain him, at what point do you let up? At some point, Jordan stopped moving and became limp. And Daniel still held him in that chokehold. So in the matter of self-defense, you're fighting off a threat, an immediate threat. Once Jordan's body went limp, he should have let him go. He may have had a chance to survive, but no, he kept him in that chokehold and ultimately killed him. So I feel like I don't understand how the jurors were deadlocked on coming to an agreement on second-degree manslaughter. And we'll see what they do with the second lesser charge. They may end up being deadlocked on that as well. But it's unfortunate, this situation. It made me think of George Floyd, for instance, where you have this police officer, Derek Chauvin, who kneeled on George's neck for over 9 minutes, asphyxiating him. He's currently in prison for that. You think about Eric Garner and that police officer who put him in a chokehold. And Daniel isn't a police officer. He isn't law enforcement at all. He's just a vigilante who was on the train and decided to take matters into his own hands. But when you think about the police are forbidden to use a chokehold on people for this very reason, because in the moment, you may not realize exactly how much damage you're causing. So I don't understand how a civilian can just put someone in a chokehold to the point where they lose their life and not face consequences behind it. Second-degree manslaughter is very fitting for what Daniel did that day. It's very unfortunate, very unfortunate. I think that's going to conclude what's hot in the blogs for this week. Thank you for watching. If you rock with your boy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's called Holliewood and Friends, which means I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the topics I just discussed. I appreciate you. New episodes every Monday night. Until next time, deuces.